Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 multiplayer action. We're here today with Bretonnia, of course. Wanted to try out the Royal Pegasus Knights for myself, so I've got Reptile King here taking the Lizardmen, and we're going to see how the Pegasus Knights do in a legit monster situation. So we've got two Carnosaurs here, one of them with a Saurus Old Blood leading the army. We've also got a Solar Engine, 2 units of Salamander Hunting Packs, 2 Saurus Spears, and then a ton of Skink Cohorts and a second line of Javs. For my army, Albrecht going to be leading the way with the 2 Royal Pegasus Knights. We've also got 2 Blessed Field Trebuchets, Beast Slayers of Baston, a line of Peasants, and then a line of Mobs. And then we've also got some Companions of Cornell as well. So, you can see right off the bat, I'm going to be focusing my Trebuchets on the Salamanders. Honestly, this is a little bit of a mistake. I probably should have been focusing the Saurus Spears, as they are the most dangerous infantry, and yeah, as we'll find out in just a minute, these Salamander Hunting Packs aren't really too much of a threat. But for the time being, I am blessing them with those Field Trebuchets there, doing a little bit of explosion damage and maybe knocking out a few models here and there. Meanwhile, Skink Javs getting into the front line, starting to throw some jabs at the unfortunate peasants. Albrecht taking a couple shots there from those salamanders, but not too worrying. We are going to throw Albrecht in for a quick hit and run, try and get some early damage done on the Old Blood, and you can see the Pegasus Knights also rushing in here as well. So we're going to put the Pegasus Knights on the salamanders here. Watch them come down, get a really nice charge, and you can see immediately models start to fall for the salamanders, and they just get wrecked on that charge super hard. So definitely Pegasus Knights seem to be performing very well against cav-sized units. It's more or less what hunting packs are, and with them off the field, you can see Albrecht doing a good number on that Saurus Old Blood as well, taking some damage, but we are going to be able to heal him, of course, with the Damsel Lore of Life. Manticore summon pops off, and I'm like, nope, 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 nope. So the Pegasus Knights are going to rush over and immediately engage this Manticore in melee, and this is something that they would have been able to do before just fine, but yeah, that Manticore are going to get completely destroyed. Meanwhile, in the front line, peasant mobs getting killed by skinks. This is one situation where Skink Cohort will actually trade very well with those mobs. No surprises. Also lots of salamander shots and more hitting those spearmen at arms, doing some really nice range damage there. You can see the Solar Engine actually was able to finish off one of those Blessed Field Trebuchet crews. Did destroy one of their pieces, maybe? Yeah, looks like a couple of their pieces got destroyed there. This Field Trebuchet also taking some shots. Meanwhile, though, Albrecht gets back up into the air with some healing. And we've got the Pegasus Knights rushing in. This unit, unfortunately, does take a lot of shots from those salamanders, but they do still have 14 unit models, so we can still potentially heal them. We drop these guys down here to finish off these salamanders, and they are done for almost immediately. So we're going to switch over onto the Skink Cohort. Again, I did make a pretty big mistake in not spotting these Saurus Spears. I just sort of wasn't really paying attention to them super well, so I definitely should have been, again, targeting them with the Trebuchets rather than those other units, but you can see the second Trebuchet going to get chased off there, so unfortunate situation for me. That being said, we do have the Pegasus Knights whipping up and around here to get into a position to support this frontline engagement. You saw Albrecht drop down there, did some good damage to the Saurus Old Blood, and now here come the Pegasus Knights as well, so let's check out the damage on that charge. I mean, with the Field Trebuchet shot, doing a little bit of friendly fire there, actually does some really solid damage to the Old Blood, you can see on that charge, and they aren't taking much damage in return. Albrecht drops down for additional anti-large. We're also going to bring the Companions of Cornell in here, and we've got the Beast Slayers, so all the elite units in the battle just mixing into this one pocket here, and it will very much go in our favor. You can see the Saurus Old Blood has taken a ton of damage, takes another hit from Albrecht there, but he does have Horn of Kygor and Stand Your Ground both active right now, so he may be able to get up and around, and there we go, gets a good engagement and a rear charge from the Carnosaur. So all of a sudden, Albrecht is in a little bit of a pickle here, and the Pegasus Knights are busy dealing with this Manticore. The other unit is in the back line, tying up that Solar Engine, trying to keep it from getting that debuff up and around. But you can see Albrecht from that situation just took a ton of damage from those two Carnosaurs. We were able to rout off the Saurus Old Blood, though, so that was very good. Granted, the other Feral Carnosaur still online, but you can see the Feral Manticore completely shut down again by those Pegasus Knights. Pegasus Knights also getting really good work done on that Solar Engine, pulling back up into the air for another cycle charge. So, yeah, so far balance of power slightly in my favor, as both of our lords are offline right now, but Alberic unlikely to come back now. Unfortunately, I don't have enough magic to throw a heal at him right at the moment. But over here, again, the Pegasus Knights are going to drop down. You see how they actually do get a decent charge animation there, and it will be enough in this late game situation to finish off that Saurus Old Blood. So you can see he pops that Cold-Blooded to try and keep himself on the field, but just gets way too low on HP. He will be done for. Meanwhile, this other group of Pegasus Knights that had taken a bunch of damage from those Salamanders earlier, you can see because of that low model count, we were able to heal them back up relatively effectively. So things are going to be pretty tight in this late game here. Beast Slayers of Bastogne fighting out in this late game, but the main danger you can see is, again, these Saurus Spears. One of them has taken basically no damage at all, and there's still just so many skinks left on the field as well. I really haven't had the mobile resources to chase off the skinks. My mobile units have all been focused on trying to break high-value targets as a priority. So yeah, it's been a little bit tough. I haven't been able to chase off units like I really wanted to, but the peasants starting to rally in certain situations. The Pegasus Knight's going to drop down here and try and finish off again this Feral Carnosaur, although there are some Saurus Spears here in a supporting position. So we'll see. The Carnosaur takes some damage there. Another really nice charge from those Pegasus Knights, actually able to connect on their charge animations for once, and they do rout it off. But again, that Solar Engine continuing to provide that debuff. You'll see it significantly debuffs the melee stats of those Royal Pegasus Knights, so I really like the pick of the Solar Engine here. I actually think that this debuff here, this blinded debuff, is super underrated. The Solar Engine might not do that much straight-up missile damage, but that debuff in the right situation can be decisive. You can see the Beast Slayers of Bastogne getting routed off. I do have a few remaining peasants here. The Grail Relic going to be kicking some people in the face as well, but things are just not looking great at this point. Damsel got caught out by some skinks over here, so we're going to use the Pegasus Knights in an anti-infantry role here. They also can do an amazing amount of anti-infantry damage because of their high charge bonus, so they will be able to break those skink cohort relatively quickly. But yeah, the balance of power just starting to grind against me a little bit in terms of a numbers game here. You can see I've only got 290 troops dropping left on the field against more than 700 Lizardmen, so definitely not looking too great so far, but we do still have plenty of mobile units. These Companions of Quenelle coming back from route, we're going to be able to reunify them with these Pegasus Knights. The other unit of Pegasus Knights does take a shot there, but doesn't drop a model very critically, so potentially we can get another heal there. That Earth Blood does catch them, and they're going to go ahead and drop down once again for a nice rear charge on these skinks. And how about that beautiful shot of those skinks just getting absolutely plowed by those Royal Pegasus Knights there. These Royal Pegasus Knights get screened out by some peasant infantry, and, you know, maybe we could potentially drop a rear charge here, but I'm going to go over here and try and bail out the Damsel if we can. It is going to be a little bit of a grind through this late game as I try and pull out the game, so we are going to fast forward somewhat until we get another nice charge situation there. So you can see there's this big clump of skinks here all around my Damsel, and I very much want to get the Damsel away if I can, but that does mean that the rest of my other units are getting ground down. Beast Slayers over here, the Saurus Spears finally dealing with that Grail Relic, and of course I missed the charge over here from all those Pegasus Knights. But yeah, you can basically picture what happened more or less. The Pegasus Knights, oh no, here they are. The few of them that remain going to be able to drop down here, get a nice charge. Companions of Quenelle coming from the other side, and the second unit of Pegasus Knights also drops down. So with all of that, finally all these skinks are broken. But again, these Saurus Spears just still alive, still with so much HP left. Way too much for me to handle in this late game situation. So yeah, we'll fast forward through the end. It is going to be a defeat for me, but that was not because of the Pegasus Knights. Absolutely, the Pegasus Knights were MVPs for me. If we go ahead and have a look here in this late game situation, I mean, 3 XP chevrons, 127 kills there, 3 XP chevrons, 88 kills on that unit. So yeah, the Companions were not the reason, or the Companions as well, I guess, and the Royal Pegasus Knights for that matter, were both not the reason that I lost this battle. Ultimately, I just think that the trebuchets were really the thing that that cost me the game there. I should have obviously been targeting them on the Saurus Spears to begin with. The reason that you bring them here is mostly to target like the Regiment of Renown Temple Guard, for example, or you can go after Cold One, you know, Spear Riders, Cold One, or Horned Ones, anything like that. Westfield Trebuchet will be great at. So I definitely should have been focusing the Saurus Spears as sort of the next step down, right? But instead, I was focusing on skinks and other lower value targets. Really didn't generate much value. Those chevrons were on there to begin with. The Pegasus Knights, on the other hand, did amazing work. 127 kills and 90 by the end of the day. Again, 3 XP chevrons on both. They were able to take down, help Alberic take down the Saurus Old Blood and the Feral Carnosaur there, plus do a ton of damage to the Bastillodon. They killed both units of Salamanders, easy peasy. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be using Pegasus Knights a lot more for Bretonnia. As for the Companions of Cornell, again, 118 kills. These guys definitely did their part. 53 on the Beast Slayers, Baston, they did just fine. 84 on some Spearmen at Arms also is not bad. The Peasants definitely got ran down, as to be expected, but again, just the Field Trebuchets ultimately cost me the game there. I think if I were to have taken, obviously hindsight being 2020, against this super wide skink build, I would have probably traded these two out for just more cav. Like you could bring maybe 2 to 3 units of, what are they called? The Knights Errant, just to provide some more anti-infantry numbers to be able to chase routing units and so on. Or even in this build, again, I did sort of point out, focusing the Field Trebuchets on the Saurus Spears may have turned out a different result in that late game. And, of course, getting Alberic caught between those two Carnosaurs was a bit of a mistake as well. So, a couple of mistakes on my end did sort of open the door for Reptile King there, but credit to Reptile King for getting that great engagement with those Saurus, staying tight with his Bastillodon on top of the spears, and just continuing to spread around that blinded debuff. Is really, really nice, did some great work there. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this one. I know I sure enjoyed playing it, and I am so happy with the performance of those Pegasus Knights. I can't... This is probably the happiest I've ever felt after a loss, I have to say, just because those Pegasus Knights did what they should do. Finally, they're in the right place. Thank you so much, Creative Assembly. Best change ever. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.